experienced readers, Abner, they're alert to tricky language. Okay? We're going to practice this, what experienced readers do. So we're going to go through some tricky words, and we're going to figure out how we can. We're going to try to figure out their meaning by seeing how they relate to other words around them. Okay, so we're going to have to read through this. We're going to read out of Felita by Nicholas A. Moore, and I am going to start by showing you how to go find out some tricky language. Okay.
Sure.
So chapter 1, the last day. Right up till that very moment, I didn't believe it would really happen. But suddenly, there I was, surrounded by boxes and cartons, packed tightly with just about everything we owned. All morning long, we had been working, filling up these boxes and cartons. In fact, Poppy and Tito and Johnny, my two brothers, had gone out to find more boxes and buy rope and sealing tape. Even though Mommy, Poppy, and everybody had spoken of practically nothing else for the past month, I had just kept thinking that moving day was still a long way off. But today was our last day. Tomorrow, we would be moving into a brand new neighborhood. The worst part of it was leaving all my friends and my blocks. I didn't remember ever living anyplace else. That's because, as Mommy said, I was only a baby and couldn't even talk when we moved to this apartment in this neighborhood. I looked up at the huge blank space staring at me over the living room couch. Mommy's brightly colored tapestry of the Last Supper showing Jesus and the apostles seated around a long table set with loaves of bread and whole fish was gone. That tapestry was Mommy's favorite piece in the apartment. She and Poppy had bought it when they had set up house as newlyweds. I'm going to stop and I'm going to look at the word tapestry and I'm going to reread that sentence. Mommy's brightly colored tapestry of the Last Supper showing Jesus and the apostles seated around a long table set with loaves of bread and the whole fish was gone.
Tapestry.
That tapestry was Mammy's favorite piece in the apartment. Tapestry. Let's see. So how can I figure out what tapestry means? I can look at the words around it. So here it says brightly colored, and it's describing this thing. So obviously it must be something that has a lot of color, and it has a picture of the Last Supper. Okay. All right.
So tapestry.
And it says it was Mommy's favorite piece in the apartment, so it must be something that you can see, right?
Maybe it's like cloth.
So it's a piece of something. Maybe it's like cloth. Okay.
Maybe a work of art.
Maybe a work of art. Okay.
Because I heard tapestry somewhere before where it has similar meanings.
So it's a tricky word, but if I reread the words around it and the paragraph around it, I can discover what this tricky word means, right? The word tapestry. So good readers, most of the time, look at the words around the tricky word to determine what the tricky word might mean, right, Abner? Great. Okay. So now what we're going to do is, did you see the way I did that? How I read the words around it and the sentences around it to determine the tricky word? Okay, great. So now you're going to keep reading, and you're going to get to these two words. Okay, in the next few pages, and you're going to discover what these words mean. You can read in your head if you like. Do you prefer that?
Yeah, I don't want to see my sucky reading.
Okay, that's okay. You're not a sucky reader. You're an excellent reader, Abner.
You just end up because you apartment. She had explained. People admired it. Mama found the pond crowded. Now that was picked away too. I knew that it was official, and we didn't have to live anymore. We didn't have to live here anymore. Papa, what are we doing? And I just thinking about Mama. Come on now, don't look like a grouch.
You'll see.
You'll see that you're going to like the new neighborhood. There was a smiling again, acting like nothing bad was going to happen. It made no sense to talk to her. I'm going outside to play, Mama. I promise. Gigi and Papa. Paquito and Consuela. I was going to meet them down by the stoop. Felita, you know, we have a lot of things to do, especially today. Please, please, Mama. This is my last day to be with my friends. I've already promised to meet them. All right, Felita. But only for a while, and then you plan to get back to help.
Understand?
Your father and brother can't do it all. Besides, Papa might be working tonight at the plant. We need the money so we can take overtime. If he can't get it. Did I say that wrong?
Besides, Poppy might be working tonight at the plant. We need the money, so he'll take overtime if he can get it. He needs the money, so he wants to work overtime.
That means that we still have a lot of packing, and you will soon have responsibilities here. Can I read the rest of my head quickly?
Yeah, please. Great, you're doing fabulous.
Okay. So the word we're looking for is
Clenched and bodega.
Bodega. So let me see. I can try making without a mistake here. You find something you like, Miss Dog.
Don't worry about actually not making a mistake as you're reading. Let's just focus on finding these words.
Sure.
And seeing if we can determine what they might mean.
Got it.
Okay.
So Mr. Harris asked. He was chewing on his cigar. He always was unlit. Had an unlit half cigar in his mouth. When he spoke, his retainer
it
remained tightly between his teeth. Clenched
tightly between his teeth. Okay, we should underline that word because that's the word we're looking for.
Word I was an idiot on.
Oh, you were not. You were wonderful. Okay, so when he spoke, it remained. What remained clenched tightly between his teeth?
Well, the cigar was in his mouth, so
great.
It was.
So what do you think? So if the cigar is in his mouth and it says tightly, and it says clenched tightly, and we're trying to figure out what the word clenched means, what might he be doing with his mouth? What?
Having an
something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So clenched. So what do you think based on what you just read? How could you describe what the word clenched means? And how
could be having his mouth in the position, or have his teeth like this, having a cigar in his mouth.
Great. And how did you determine that?
I don't know.
Because you used the clue of the cigar.
Cigar. And then when he spoke, it remained clenched between his teeth.
And it's a tightly, right? Between
Tightly.
his teeth. So it has to be some kind of gesture that his mouth is making, right?
Pose. The pose of his teeth, I guess.
Of his mouth, maybe?
Of his mouth, yeah. More particularly. No, not today, I answered. Well, you try again, yes?